Killer whales trained to jump, twirl, and splash for their supper used to be the main attraction at the SeaWorld chain of marine parks in the U.S. Then the documentary Blackfish portrayed the whale's captivity as brutal and chronicled the saga of Tilikum, the SeaWorld orca that in 2010 killed his trainer, Don Brancho. Attendance at SeaWorld parks dropped along with the company's stock. Faced with that, today SeaWorld announced it would immediately cease its orca breeding programs, making the current generation of more than 24 whales its last.
The last generation of orcas at SeaWorld.
It's about where society is shifting. I have seen clearly that society is changing their attitude about these unbelievable, majestic animals being in human care.
SeaWorld is also phasing out the orca shows, replacing them with what the company calls encounters with the remaining whales in a more natural environment. One of the Blackfish documentary co-writers says he's not surprised by SeaWorld's decision.
The business model was failing, as they acknowledged. There are too many questions about killer whales in captivity, and it was costing them money and costing them business. So kudos to them for recognizing reality and making a change.
Activists in Canada convinced the Ontario government to ban orca capture and breeding last year. Laws aimed specifically at Marineland, the last park in the country with a captive killer whale, a 40-year-old named Kiska. Former Marineland trainer Phil Demers is now an activist fighting against the captivity of all marine mammals.
The suffering of these animals is real, it's deep, and it needs to stop. I believe that enslaving these sentient beings is barbaric. It's a cruel practice that we need to eradicate, and I think that in the future we'll thank ourselves for stopping this.
Demers and other activists want all of North America's captive orcas, including the lone Canadian whale, to be moved to large seaside pens to live out their lives. Ron Charles, CBC News, Toronto.